Hey guys, 0101 here with a new video. So let's make a day real quick. Okay, so first thing I'm going to show you is, and I actually made a water world and just made everything float on top. It's actually kind of useful. So this is my clock, okay? So I have this input here, turn that on, and that completes this little timing circuit here. This button will send a pulse through here, send the pulse up into here, and that'll start everything. And then it'll come out here and it'll go through another pulse, which will, instead of having a 4-click pulse, it'll actually be a quicker pulse that'll go out onto my clock, which is what I want. It's crisper, cleaner, stuff like that. So there we go. We'll get that thing started, and there we go. That is our clock pulse. Now this you probably will not recognize, but this is a serial encoder. Recently Minecraft came out with a new update, and in this update was this ability to make memory using something like this. So this is your memory and control right there. So if both of these are high in this case, then this will go through, it'll lock that into place, and then this little memory block right here will be set to A1. And then in order to reset it, just have this right here be low, hit that, and then it'll reset this to a 0. Okay, so this is the start switch. It'll automatically load a 1 into here, and then on the clock pulse it'll go into here, and then it'll lock that 1 in there. And then the clock pulse will also go through here, but it can't go through until this extends. So when that extends, then it'll go through here, and then it can't go through here until this one extends, and then it goes all the way down the line. You've seen my previous video, I hope, so this should be nothing new to you. Afterwards, we have it going into another little 1-bit memory right here, and this line up on top is actually just a reset. That's all it is. So then the output gets stored here, and then it goes into a pulse generator right here. It'll generate a pulse, and then under here it goes into a pulse modulator. So let's see, and then over here we've got all of our data inputs. So this is a 4-bit data serial encoder. So these will all go into here. These are more little 1-bit memory things. The output of this is going into an AND gate. Now this is a modified AND gate. It's vertical. The first input goes down here onto this torch. The second input goes over here onto this torch. Now the bottom torch is right underneath this block, and it's also connected to here. So if this is off and that is off, then what comes out over here and goes onto that torch right there will be a 1. So unless both the inputs are high, this will not go on. So it's just your basic AND gate, just a little different way of doing it. And then this gets repeated for all the different data bits. So what happens is you turn it on, clock pulse, first memory goes into here. This acts like a transistor. Then it goes into another data bit. Then it goes into a pulse generator. And then from here it goes into an AND gate. Sorry. And then that will AND the pulse signal along with the data signals. That way if this pulses and this is high at the same time, then it'll send a signal out into the pulse modulator. And then that'll go on down the line to this line right here. These are all connected. And then it'll go over to here. Now this is also the clock line right here. And then this is your output. Now these right here are timing for the serial line, and then these ones right here are timing for the data lines. You're gonna have to play around with them, but if you do set this up, start with your outermost one first. So then you're gonna bring that over here, bring a redstone all the way over to here, and just ignore all of these other ones. Just like break the redstone there, and there. So that way you get only the input from that far one, and then just mess around until you can get the output here. Imagine that that redstone's not there. This to sync exactly with this, and this isn't going to be here either. So if you can get both of these to blink at the same exact time, then you're good. And then you just do that for... Alright, so my recording software decided to cut me off. So I get about 5 minutes before I have to make a new video type thing. So this is probably going to be a long video so I can explain everything. Okay, so last video left off saying that you have to do the same thing for all of these to make sure that all of these link up. Then you get a nice clean output. Alright, now the differences between this setup here and my previous one, obviously the first one is the memory. This is a lot smaller. But mostly I had the data on the bottom, and then I had this pulse on the other side of the data, and then the pulse modulator after the pulse generator. So all I did is I just reorganized a little bit. I mean, it still does the same thing, and I think this looks a lot cleaner, and it also takes up less space. Okay, so then we have our output serial line. This will go to whatever you want it to go to, but in this case I have it going to a decoder. Alright, so when we get this, when we encode the data, it's offset by 4 ticks. So like the clock signal will be like 1 or 2 ticks, 4 ticks, sorry. So 4 ticks for the clock signal, and then an additional 4 for when I modulate it. So what this does is, if this has just a regular clock input, you'll see that these do not blink at the same time. However, if we have a encoded pulse or whatever, this will go on and stay on long enough for this to go through, and then that's how this AND gate will actually pick up the first signal. Now after that, that first signal being picked up is sort of like the switch that turns everything on. So that goes over here, gets stored, and then it goes over into here into the data portions of the memory. And then we have basically the same exact setup as this. The only difference is, instead of having a switch, we have an AND gate, and these ones actually need a reset in order to reset, whereas these ones do not. I'm not sure why, to be honest. I mean, I could go through, look at it, and probably figure it out, but I'm just way too lazy. So I have the reset here set over to here and over to here. Now you see that this goes into data, which then goes into a transistor, aka, you know, piston type thing. And then it goes into more data, and then it goes into a pulse generator. And then it also goes into an AND gate, but that's where this differs. So everything from going into the first data bit to going to the pulse output, or pulse maker, whatever you want to call it, pulse generator, is the same. And then after that, the input for, or the output I should say, for the pulse generator goes into a three input AND gate. So if this pulses, and then you'll notice this setup here from the AND gate over there, this will pick up if there's data on any particular pulse. So if all of this works together, so like we get data on the clock signal and this pulses at the same exact time, then that'll go through, send this, send a high through here, and then it'll get set into this data, and then this data is actually your output. So basically you get your first signal through here with encoded data. You notice that we actually don't have anything here. That's because the first pulse, encoded pulse, actually isn't data. It's just telling this thing to, hey, you know, I'm about to be sending data. So I don't have anything there, you don't need anything there, and then everything picks up off of the second one, which is actually the first data bit. So that's also why you need these 4 right here. These will actually make it skip over the data, or the first encoded input. So you'll see that from here and here they're actually pulsing at the same time, even though there's a difference there. So that's just that way you can start picking up on the second pulse instead of the first one. Because if you pick up on the first one, then this will be your first input, this will be your first data input, second data input, third data input, and then your fourth data input gets lost, which is not good. So that's pretty much it. The decoder, it took me a while to figure out, but now that you've seen it, I mean, it looks really, really simple, right? But I spent at least 8 hours just trying to figure this out. Haha, got cut off again. Okay, so I had just finished explaining the decoder. Set time, day, there we go. What? Oh, time, set, day, there we go. Okay. As far as time for all this to process, from the first time that I switch this to when I get an output is about 3 clock pulses, so it's pretty fast. And then going through here to the end over here and actually getting the data is also about 3 clock pulses. So from starting this, encoding all the data, sending it, and then bringing it all the way back over here and then decoding it and getting an output is about 6 clock pulses. So I would say that's about 6 seconds. So I think for Minecraft that's actually pretty good. Now I'm sure you want to see it work, right? Okay. That is turned off. Okay, so we're just going to set all of these on so you can see that these are all on. And then we're going to set it. And then all of those little redstones right there lit up, so that's good. We are going to reset this, even though I don't have to, just because I like to push buttons. And then we are going to start it. So there's the first one going through. And yeah, so that should be all of the data. That's the last one right there. And it sent it all the way over to here. I'll do it again so we can see it over here on this side. But yeah, if you want to see the data going through, just watch this line right here. And that's really all you need to see. So then it went all the way over into here. You can see that I went through here, it picked it up. It got saved into here, which is why all those are over there. Then it went through here, which is why all those are high right now. Went through the pulse, and it went over to here, and it all got saved over here. So we had a 1111 over here, and then over here we have a 1111. So it works. So we're going to reset this. Click the button. Okay. So there you go. That's reset. Then we're going to go over here and see all those right there. Ha! Reset. And that also resets this over here. Because, if this isn't, stuck on high, or low I should say, then it's not going to pick anything up, which is not good. Okay, that's good. Now we're going to reset. Oh, turn this off first. There we go. And then reset this. Okay, so now we saw it over here on this side. Now we're going to go over here and watch it on this side. So we'll hit that, hurry over here. Now you're going to want to watch right over here because that'll be the first signal. So there's the first one going through, second, third, fourth, fifth, third, fourth. So there you go. We'll switch it up a little bit and alternate the signals. That needs to be reset. What you can do eventually is just create like a reset line and just hit that once after you send it, and that'll just reset everything. It's easier than going around and hitting 4 buttons. So I don't like that one and I don't like that one, so we will set that. So now we're going to have a 1, a 0, a 1, a 0, and a 1. Of course the first one you're not actually going to see, so that's already been reset, that's been reset, that has been reset. Okay. So what we should see over here on this first data is going to be a 0, then a 1, and then a 0 and a 1. So it's already encoded, it's already over here, and we have our first one, and it skips the third one, and then it goes on to the fourth one lights up, and there you go. So there you go, that is serial, whoopsies, don't do that. Okay, serial encoding and decoding onto a clock pulse in Minecraft. So if you like it, hit like on the video. If you have any questions, feel free to comment, I'll get back to you. And yeah, if you want me to go more in depth and like actually build something like this for you, let me know, and I will do my best. But yeah, I mean, clock into the encoder, serial output into the decoder, and then we have our data. So yeah, there you go. That's the video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.